It is episode 91 of the Say Hey podcast, part of the Believe Podcast Network. I am Doug Hayes, aka Say Hey Doug. It is December 13th, 2022. Rob, we're already approaching 2023, my man. It is flying by. Flying by.
It's flying by, man. I'm ready for 2022 to be over because I've had better. I don't know about you, but I've had better. But yeah, you know what? We're getting close to the end of the year. Christmas is really sneaking up, which is a harsh reminder. I get more shit done. But but yeah, I'm kind of ready to close the book on 2022. So hurry up.
For the most part, it's been a good year. I mean, obviously, my
Yeah.
daughter was born, and
Yes.
Michigan beat Ohio State for the second year in a row. It's been awesome. I'm sick again. In case you couldn't tell by my voice, I'm gonna have to battle through this episode, but drinking some tea tonight, so we'll be good to go. Yeah, man, a lot's been going on in the baseball world. A lot of signings, a lot of money, and more importantly, a lot of years being handed out. But the Giants finally making a couple moves, not big ass moves like we're hoping for and anticipating for, but a couple of them. The first one yesterday, and we'll just jump right into it. The Giants. Now, I don't think this is like totally official yet. I don't think he's signed, so that's why I put Giants to sign Sean Manaea, 2 years, $25 million, with an opt out after the first year. So yeah, Sean Manaea, we've known him for a while. Obviously, pitched in the East Bay for a few years, then pitched last year with the Padres. Not a great 2022. He made 30, or he appeared in 30 games, 28 starts, 4.96 ERA, 4.53 FIP, 8.89 Ks per nine. Just not great. I mean, I guess the positive out of it is he pitched 158 innings, so he stayed relatively healthy. But yeah, I mean, my quick thoughts on Manaea before I'll let you jump in and give your opinion. Up and down career, he's only had like one really good year. And that was, he only threw like 29 and 2/3 innings for Oakland back in 2019. He's never really had like a full good year. You could argue his rookie season in 16 was okay. But yeah, Rob, what are your quick thoughts on Sean Manaea joining this already kind of getting crowded again pitching staff?
Well, I gotta say he'll fit right in with this pitching staff because they're all seemingly pitching for their next contract. But yeah, Manaea, I remember when he first came up with the A's, liked him a lot. Hard thrower. Right out the gates, had a nice little 7-9 2016 campaign through 3.86 ERA. But you know what? That's kind of where he stayed most of his career. Like he's kind of just been that little steady Eddie. Like he's not horrible. He's not great, but holy crap, the stuff's there. He throws hard. He's got a nice curveball, lefty. We all love our lefties. But yeah, he's just kind of been stuck in neutral kind of for a lot of his career. And he didn't. Last year he didn't start off too bad. Through April, he through fifth. Well, yeah, 3.60 ERA in April last year, and then he kind of steadily declined throughout the year.
Yeah,
he started getting slapped around in May. ERA was almost 6 in May. Had a nice June. Had a 1.59 ERA. Went 4-1. Bounced back a little bit, but yeah, by kind of by the end of the year, like you could see that he wasn't a mainstay in the Padres rotation, and I don't even think he got lit up in that Dodger start. I remember in the playoffs, but outside of that, he was just average, and he took a pretty significant step back towards the end of the year. So hops on with the Giants. He gets his 2 for 25. I think a $5 million signing bonus just to start off. And if he has a good year next year, he's free to go seek other options. That's kind of what Farhan these guys have had to do to get guys in the door, which is a little annoying as a fan, especially since they haven't done a lot on the offensive end to make you think that they can compete in 2023. So it's like, okay, if he's here for a year, then, well, don't go rushing to buy his jersey if he does good.
Yeah, I mean, in talking from the financial aspect of this deal, the 2 for 25, this is right along the lines of, Cobb, Wood, DeSclafani. I'm trying to get the specific numbers right up in front of me, but I know like DeSclafani was 3 for 36 mil, I believe. Alex Wood was 2 for, what was it, 22 or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, this is right in that area of. And again, there's another opt out after year one. I mean, if Shaman, well, the thing with Manaea actually is like, if he were to opt out after this year and have surprisingly a really good year, like I wouldn't be too upset about it. And the Giants got a good year out of him. So the opt out with Manaea, I'm kind of like whatever about. I know a lot of people you see on Giants Twitter lately are bitching about opt outs, and deservedly so. I get it. Like, a lot of people are upset about, especially like the Rodon one now, and I get it. That makes sense. But in regards to Manaea specifically, yeah, it's, if he pitches well this year and tries to get a better deal next year, then I think that's a win-win for him and the Giants. I'm okay with that.
I think me and other fans would feel better about it if the Giants had a squad ready to go that could win this year.
Yeah.
But I think we all know that as of right now, it's 2023 is not looking good. Like, it's just not. So if you don't envision Manaea being a big part of this future.
No, I definitely. I mean, and then there again, if he doesn't have a great year, and he's still 30, 31 years old, he's still young enough. He's probably like, okay, well, I'll just pick up that second year option. And then I'm around next year trying to pitch well again and get a good deal for 2024. So who knows? He'll probably be in that 4 or 5 spot at the back end of the rotation. And we'll talk about the rotation as a whole after this too in just a few minutes. But the other guy, you good? Can you hear me?
Yep, gotcha.
Oh, okay, sorry. The other guy the Giants signed today, Ross Stripling, gets the exact same deal as Manaea. 2 years, 25 mil, an opt-out after 2023. Now, unlike Manaea, Stripling is actually coming off a pretty solid season with the Toronto Blue Jays. He 10-4 record in 134 in the third. In 2022, a 3.01 ERA, 3.11 FIP. So he pitched pretty true to his numbers, and 3.1 WAR. So he was pretty damn solid for the Blue Jays this year. Stayed relatively healthy for the most part. He appeared in 32 games. 24 of those were starts. He has kind of gone back and forth over the last few years. Towards the end of his time with the Dodgers, and then his couple years with the Blue Jays, of starting, coming out of the pen, starting, coming out of the pen. So there does leave that option for San Francisco if they need to, for some reason, use Stripling out of the bullpen. They could, but it sounds like per his interview with the media today that he is signing to be a starter, which, I would assume that's what he was going to do. So that's on Ross Stripling now signing with the Giants for the exact same deal.
Yep, the exact same deal. Don't buy his jersey either. He's kind of started off, being in LA, being that like spot starter guy. Did a good job. He was all-star in 2018. So I mean, stuff's there. 8.3 K per 9, not bad. But he started to get more and more rope from the Blue Jays last year as the season went on. He never threw more than 6 innings, not one time, which is, I think is, well, he came in the right place,
Sounds like Alex Wood.
Yeah, but he started off in the year going, 4 innings, 4, 5, 4, 3. Like, he was doing that all year, but once August hit, he started to turn around a little bit. I believe he had a 1.89 ERA in August, which is great. But I was really surprised to see him leave Toronto because the way he ended the year, I mean, he seemed like a pretty solid asset to that team. But with the reports of Kevin Gosman hyping up the Giants and telling them, "Oh yeah, man, they'll get you straight, and they'll get your numbers up," and then he probably told him, "Yeah, that you can get one of those opt outs after 1 year and go get a lucrative deal elsewhere." I mean, I'm sure a lot of that played into it because you typically don't see two pitchers of the same mold. I mean, Manaea's a lefty and Stripling's a righty, but they're about the same age and at the same points in their career, and they look to have similar plans. And yeah, it's nice to have the depth. That's exciting because you don't know about DeSclafani's health, Alex Wood.
Yeah.
Getting up there, Alex Cobb, he has a history of getting hurt. So I have no problem with adding depth to this rotation. It's just, what's the end game plan with these guys? That's where my concern comes in.
I'll get to that point in a second because I have a thought on that. But in regards to Ross Stripling, obviously Toronto filled his spot with Chris Bassett. They just signed him for 3 years, $63 million the other day. And Bassett's probably a little more consistent, probably a little more durable than Ross Stripling. So Blue Jays, along with Manoa and Gosman and Kikuchi, pretty solid rotation there in Toronto. So I think, Stripling probably talking to Gosman, opportunity to come out here, get right for a year, even though he had a good year this last year, but really double down and possibly could get maybe a 3-year deal next year if he throws well and stays healthy this year. Thing that stuck out to me, I know, Rob, you're big on WHIP, which is walks and hits per inning. 1.02 for Ross Stripling in 2022, really solid number.
Really good.
So he not walking a lot of guys. He wasn't striking out a lot of guys. 7.44 in 2022, but didn't really give up the long ball. 0.8 home runs per 9 as well. So, if the Giants can shore up that defense behind him, which they struggled with this last year, he did have a very solid 43.8% ground ball rate in 2022. So they can figure out the defense behind him, and of course stay healthy. Ross Stripling could be a really nice addition to this rotation. So yeah, I'm a little more excited about him than Manaea.
Sure,
but who knows? We'll see.
It's just so sorry, let me cut you off there, but
no, you're good.
But yeah, like I think from a fan standpoint, especially on Stripling, not really Manaea. I like we were talking earlier. I'm good with Manaea getting that 1 year opt out because especially coming off a bad year. But Stripling, it's like, man, wouldn't you want to make a maybe they did, and maybe he said, well, fuck you guys, I don't want to do that. Would you make more of an effort to give him 3 years? Maybe what you gave Alex Cobb, something like that. Maybe he can be here for a couple of years, and you can say, okay, we got him for this year and next year, and then we'll go from there. But 1 year when you haven't done much else to shore up your defense or your offense, like it's just, I'm frustrated.
Well, let's talk about the other guys. So in this rotation, you're going to have Webb for sure. You're going to have Cobb, Wood, DeSclafani, assuming that they'll be healthy, ready to go. Then you have Manaea. Then you have Stripling. So there's 6 guys right there that are like for sure going to be in this mix for, rotation, will be in the rotation, whatever. And then you have Kyle Harrison, who's going to be in Sacramento to start the year, assuming unless he blows the Giants out of the water in spring training. But I think the majority of fans, even if you agree, disagree on all that things, will agree that Kyle Harrison's probably starting in AAA Sac. Assuming things go well for a few months, maybe an injury here or there and possibly early as May or whatever. But Kyle Harrison's going to be a part of this rotation in 2023 at some point. So then that even, throw him into the mix. That even puts one of these guys into who knows. But kind of like I mentioned earlier, Alex Wood has bullpen experience and a guy that really thrives, going through a lineup like one time, he's really good. And then if he gets seen again, he struggles. I would like to see Ross Stripling's numbers, a first, second, third time. I wonder if it's similar to Wood's. But, with Wood and Stripling have that bullpen experience, maybe because the Giants have kind of shown they're not going for that set 5 They will go with a 6-7 guy rotation, mix guys in. I'm hoping now that they have this, amount, they have 6-7 guys in the mix of starters, that we can finally get away from seeing John Brebbia throw once a week and the opener is gone. But that's my thought on, the rotation as a whole. So
yeah, I think you make a good point. Like with Manaea and Stripling coming in, you would think, okay, we're done with openers. We have about 7 starters now if you count Junis. Like, yeah,
and
Brebbia,
Jacob Junis, yes, I didn't mention.
Yeah, and then you got Kyle Harrison waiting in the wings. Yeah, next year the Giants shouldn't be trotting out John Brebbia 3 times a week to open games. Like, and they keep saying that they're in on Carlos Rodon still. I don't buy that for one damn second.
Me neither.
But I mean, it's gonna you don't really know. Like, it's gonna be Logan Webb and basically a bunch of question marks after that. So I'm hoping with the depth, we're not gonna have to deal with openers as much, but man, like, it still lingers in the back of my head. Like, I'm hoping Manaea has a good year. I'm hoping Stripling has a good year, and everything works out okay. But it still makes me nervous. All the whole rotation of like 4s and 5s right now makes me nervous.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, you brought Jacob Junis into that mix too. I forgot he is around, of course. He'll be in the mix as well. But yeah, I mean, I tweeted out something today, and it's nobody's talking about it, but it's just a thought, and it's possible that could Alex Cobb be a trade piece?
Yeah,
I
possibly.
mean, here's the thing. He stayed relatively healthy this last year. He, especially in the second half, was really good. He has one more year for sure, and then there's an option for 2024, but he's only making $9 million this year. And I'm not saying he'd be the centerpiece of something, could be for a smaller trade, but Alex Cobb could be to, open up that space for like to bring in a Kyle Harrison or whatever. And I like Alex Cobb. I was advocating for him throughout this last year, but I wonder if he is a possible trade candidate.
Yeah, I think he could be. And really, like, I think a lot of these guys, Junis, if he has another good year, Manaea, if he has another good year, Stripling, if he has another good year, all these guys are possible trade pieces at the deadline. Because as of right now, I mean, I'm not that confident that the Giants are going to be close come this summer. I think, I think best case scenario right now, they're a 500 team, best case scenario. So I think all these guys could be possible trade pieces towards the deadline, because they all have short kind of manageable deals. So I think everybody outside of Logan Webb should be on the table at the trade deadline if they're struggling, of course. But I think they're going to at this point. So yeah, I mean, a lot of trade pieces potentially.
I just want to get your thought on one thing real quick. And I know that there has been so much to talk about in regards of front office, management, ownership, bringing bats to San Francisco, and the struggle with that, not just in recent memory, but for a long time now. But in recent years, the Giants have had success bringing pitchers in, shorter deal, a little bit higher AAV. Like, even with the emergence of Kyle Harrison, who's right on the fringe of being there this year, is this something that you think the Giants will continue to do with the rotation until it stops working?
So it's hard to say, man. Like, at this point, I would say probably, because I have no reason to believe otherwise. Carlos Rodon, yeah, comes in, has a great year, gets the hell out of that second year, with his opt out, and he's going to greener pastures. And it's like, over the years, these are just deals that you would see teams like the A's and the Rays make all the time. And growing up, we'd always make jokes as Giants fans, like, "Oh yeah, don't buy that guy's jersey. Don't, yeah, hey, little Billy, don't get used to him." Like, and I feel like that's where the Giants are headed right now. It's like you want to have a little assurance that some of these guys are going to be around, for 2, 3, 4 years. Not that they're just in here for a quickie and going off to the next best thing if everything goes well. So yeah, but so far, admittedly, it has worked, and so far they have brought none of these guys back for the most part. So, I mean, DeSclafani got a nice contract for his nice 2021. Didn't pitch in 2022. Hardly. So that sucked. They re-signed Alex Wood, but I was like you said, I was good with Alex Cobb's contract because that was nice. Like, okay, you get a little stability there, and yeah, there was questions with his health too, but there's questions with everybody's health. So yeah, to answer your question, yeah, I do think they're going to keep doing this, but man, it's just you just keep putting yourself in these positions every single year, and you hope you hope Kyle Harrison comes up and he can be part of that duo with Logan Webb, where it's like, okay, at least we know we have these two guys and they're both gonna be good, but that remains to be seen. That's all speculation at this point.
Yeah. So, I wanted to talk about kind of what's next in regards of free agency, trades, possibly. But sticking with the rotation for just one more minute, you think they're done? I think they're done. I don't think they have any more starters. I think they're happy with it. And they still have, if you want to really dig deep in the well, they still have Sean Jelly, who had a little experience in 2022, who will be probably up and down this year as well. So
yeah, I agree. I think they're done with the rotation for sure. Bullpen, I would like to see a Taylor Rogers,
sure,
somebody like that come in, Andrew Chafin, but I'm not sure yet.
Yeah, in regards to the bullpen, I'm obviously another year of Camilo Duvall, older, stronger, smarter, figuring stuff about how to pitch to guys in the ninth inning. I think Camilo Duvall could have a huge 2023, in his opportunities. But I think bringing back, he had a really good end of the year. I am excited to see Scott Alexander, again with a full year for the Giants. He's back, and then obviously, I think you and I both said that John Brebbia was going to have a good 2022, and overall he did, whether he was opening or what. He had a really good 2022. You could tell he was healthy. He wasn't overused like he was in 2021. So yeah, the bullpen, yeah, Taylor Rogers, maybe if they were to go add two guys to this bullpen, I think, and there's some young arms too that are in the way, like Cole Waits is there. This Giants bullpen is not far from being good again. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, bullpens are such a year-to-year thing. They were the best bullpen in 2021, and they were almost the freaking worst last year.
With the same dudes.
With the same guys, yeah. I mean, Don McLeon didn't finish out the year. Jake McGee didn't finish out the year. It was crazy. Outside Camilo Duvall and I would say John Brebbia, it was okay, who the hell's who's about to throw? Yeah, toss up. Who wants it tonight? Yeah. So yeah, Scott Alexander, yeah, and end of the year very well.
Oh my god, hold on. 13 for 350, we're getting CORREA. I'm not even joking.
What?
Jeff Passan just broke it right now.
Where?
Oh my god.
Oh,
the Giants are getting Carlos Corra.
Oh shit.
While we're recording. This is awesome.
No way.
Hold on.
Hey, the Giants are going all the way next year.
Oh god. This is awesome.
Wow.
Hold on, I'm putting this in now.
Wow.
Excuse us while we
sorry guys. I didn't mean to clown on the Giants. I think they're going to be a great team next year, and it's yeah. We're buyers at the deadline.
Holy cow. This is, man, it's always great when this stuff happens when you're recording, right?
I wouldn't know. So I mean well, last year on Giants Chatter, when the Giants traded or 2 years ago, when Giants traded for Chris Bryant, that was cool on Facebook. But no, for me, this is a first on the Say podcast. This is pretty nice.
Yeah, this is awesome. Wow. The Giants are getting Carlos Correa, 13 years, $350 million, Rob. And you know what? They finally have their piece that they can attract. This is to attract everyone. This is crazy. Sorry, we're trying to like do everything here right now. I'm on my phone. Rob's on his phone.
I keep forgetting we're on YouTube too. Goddamn.
So, man, this is awesome.
Yeah, hopefully CORREA can come in and put up some good numbers and kind of break that mold, break the mold, break that trend with the superstars not one to come to San Francisco. Hopefully he comes in and wins an MVP like Bonds and Kent did. So there you go. And we'll bust for Posey too, but the Giants drafted him. So
yeah.
But yeah, wow. The Giants finally got somebody to break the seal, kind of make the jump, hop over the fence. Now he's just got to perform.
Wow. Yeah. Giants are getting Carlos Correa. They have their guy. This is, arguably he was like the number 2 free agent available this offseason. And holy cow, the momentum of fans right now from the last week. Aaron Judge stays in New York. Trey Turner goes to Philly. Xander Bogaerts goes to San Diego. All these guys going everywhere, big names everywhere except San Francisco. And the Giants go get Carlos Correa. He's coming off a really good year, 136 games in Minnesota, 22 home runs, 64 RBIs, 140 WRC plus, and he stayed healthy the last 3 seasons, 58 out of the 60 games in 2020, 148 games in 2021, his last year with the Astros, and in 2022, 136 games. So, Rob, what are your thoughts on Carlos Correa?
I'm pumped. And one of my favorite things about Carlos Correa, I mean, he's a great player. He's still approaching his prime. He's in his prime right now, which is great. So I'm okay with the 13 years. We'll jump with at the 40-41 years when we get there. I ain't worried. We could all be dead by then, so it's okay. But yeah,
and it's 13 years, Rob. Like I've been saying, it's gonna be 13 years.
Yeah, I mean that's 13. I thought it would take 14 personally, but whatever. 13 is good. No, I'm just very fired up. I'm kind of at a loss for words right now. Yeah, this is what the Giants needed. The Giants needed somebody to make that jump. I mean, it's the biggest free agent signing since Barry Bonds. So
it absolutely is.
So yeah, very interested to see what happens. Whether he plays third this year or Crawford plays third, we'll find out. I don't know, but I don't really care right now. The Giants got a bat. They got a nice bat that he made Target Field last year look pretty small, which is a big field as well. So very, very, very important that he comes in and puts up numbers and puts the message out to other players that, okay, you can do great things in this ballpark. Back in the day, the Giants, after they got Bonds, they traded for Jeff Kent. Kent came out here, put up great numbers, re-signed. JT Snow, re-signed once they were here. Hunter Pence, re-signed. It's getting these guys here has been the hard part. They've always had to do it via trade. They haven't had a lot of issues aside from Pablo Sandoval re-signing these hitters, but getting them here has been so hard. And I'm praying Correa can be that centerpiece that just is the magnet for other stars, because the Giants got money. They still got money right now. So I mean, they can make moves if they can get dudes on board. But after losing out on Aaron Judge last week and how sad that was, how much of a bummer it was, they had to have this.
No opt-outs
for this year. For this coming year.
No opt-outs and a full no trade. So he is here for 13 years. Wow. Hey, I don't think any of us are crazy about the years, but again, like you said, like who cares? You're getting the next 5, 6, 7 years of this dude's prime. Carlos Correa is going to be, one of the better players in the game, like he has been the last couple years, and he's only going to get better. So, dude, exciting times.
I did not. I thought he would drag this out. Him and Scott Boras would drag this out for a few more days. And we had heard this afternoon about Dansby Swanson talking to the team. So once I heard that, and then we started hearing stuff this evening actually about the Mets are back in, and they're saying he'll play third and Lindor will play short, and they're all in on it. I was thinking, oh, Steve Cohen, here we go again.
Yeah.
But man, good. I said a lot of bad things today about Farhan and ownership, but I'm gonna go delete a lot of that shit. And yeah.
With respect to Sean Manaea and Ross Stripling, I think Rob and I are going to close it now. We're good. Carlos Correa is a giant. 13 years, $350 million. The Giants get their guy. The Giants get the biggest free agent signing offensively in 29 years since Barry Bonds came over from Pittsburgh, and we all know the rest is history with him. So incredible. We're going to get this out immediately.
Yeah, we're going to try.
Yeah. So for Say Hey Doug and Say Hey Rob, thank you for joining us. The Giants get their guy, Correa to SF. Go Giants.
Go Giants. World Series, here we come.
Say hey, say who, say Willie. Say hey, say who, swinging at the plate. Say hey.